Welcome, everyone. My name is Casey Trujillo, and I am so glad that you could join us today. And I am joined, I think this is the first time ever, I am joined by the Schroeder family. And so, Marty, would you mind introducing the family?
Absolutely. We'll start with the youngest to the oldest. This is my boy E, and he is 1 minute younger than his twin Naya,
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
love. So this is my beautiful wife, better half Brigitte. She's amazing, and I'm Marty Schroeder.
So you're joining me today because this family has taken a health journey together. And Brigitte, talk to me about that. I love that it's a family affair here. How have you coordinated all of this? This seems like a difficult task maybe to do. Like, how are you managing all this?
Thank you for saying that, Casey. It's been a task. It's been a joy too. Marty and I started a little bit over a month ahead of the twins. They saw kind of what we were doing. They saw what we were able to eat. They were enjoying nibbles here and there of the different things that we were eating, and so they had a great interest really early on to start plan. They had some goals. Ethan has some athletic goals, and I had some health goals, and so we just figured if it's good for us, it's good for them. We checked, and sure enough, there is an appropriate program for teens, and they joined in about a month after, and yeah, Ethan's down 20 pounds and Naya's down 19 and 0.2. And then it matters, guys. And so it's been a joy, and it's been a lot easier because we're doing it together. There's less temptation, and we tend to support each other through kind of the ups and downs. And so yeah, it's been good. But we enjoy coming up with lean and greens together, and luckily they're great. They have great taste in food, and so they've always been willing to eat the good healthy stuff anyway. So it's worked out really well.
I love that, and as always, as a family, I know that individual weight loss varies, and you always seek a medical physician to discuss this with you. And I love the approach that you've taken on this. And Naya, for you, what have you learned through all of this? Is healthy eating fun? Is it okay? Do you like doing it as a family? Tell me from your perspective.
I think it's fun. I've always loved eating healthy. It has been a little bit of a challenge though, just because my friends have like brownies and
Oh,
Easter
pizza
candy.
and
We have both of those. We have brownies and pizza.
and I can't eat Nana's brownies. I can't eat
Yeah,
Nana's
Nana's
brownies.
yes, right. And Ethan, how do you feel about things? You liking this? It seems like you're in a good, healthy competition with your sister a little bit too. It sounds like.
I'm surprised she's at 19.2. I thought she was going to be at 21.
Yeah.
I might be but sooner. Bet.
I bet.
So Marty, as you approach this as a family, obviously, the main goal is just creating healthy habits. Obviously, whatever, your kids have a great, I can tell they have a positive self-image about who they are and what they stand for. I mean, that's never in doubt. It's about just creating healthy habits, so we're getting the most out of life and having the most energy. How do you balance that, Marty, as the father, of saying, hey, has to do more with about creating healthy habits and not so much about individual weight loss or this or that. It's about just being healthy. How have you managed that?
Casey, that's a great question, man. A couple things we've done. One of the things is we know they're kids, right? And like, I was always a heavy kid my whole life, and so maybe the way I was dealt with wasn't always the best, right? And so I tried to analyze it, and I thought, okay, if they really want to do this, which they did, we let them 100% be like, yeah, we're in, and tell us why and everything. But we knew that also that they would stumble, and we said, hey, here's the rule: you're going to stumble. We know it. When you do, all you got to do is be honest with us. That's it. Say, yep, I ate that Snicker bar, or I drank that soda, or I had that pizza party. Now, the cool thing was with them just being honest and reporting to us, just saying, yep, I did that. We're like, rock on. Thanks for telling us the truth. We're moving on. The warriors aren't someone who never falls. It's someone who, when they fall, they get back up, right? And she made a cool post the other day, like about 2 weeks ago about that, it was her word. It was awesome. But So yeah, we just accountability, I guess, mostly, and not like forcible accountability.
Right.
Like, hey, what are the benefits of being accountable? And they've seen it. Like this beautiful boy right here, who's in the lead by only a 0.8.
Mhm.
He had a pizza party with his friends, and he chose to go for it. Well, the next day he played a basketball game. He felt lethargic, and he recognized it. And then I said, hey, how did you do the next week? And he didn't have one breakdown that whole week. And they usually have one, maybe two.
Sure.
That he didn't, because he realized, no way, man, that affects me. And he knew it. I didn't have to tell him. He knows. His body tells him. So listen to your body and be accountable. That's kind of what we, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key parts about as we have this program, like you said, for adults and teens. It's an education component. You have coaches that are there that mentor the two of you to help walk through this as you're mentoring your family, right? You have a community of like-minded people, and obviously you have these healthy fueling plan that keeps everybody consistent. Brigitte, for you. What's the thing that you've noticed the most about your kids? Let's brag on them a little bit. What are some of the things that you've noticed about them and the changes that they've had?
They've been awesome. I've been kind of shocked at how resilient they've been and how their healthy food choices have been like at the top of their priority list.
Mm,
Easter just happened. The Easter Bunny brought some great things that were healthy options for them, and then a few things, very few. And it was interesting to see that they decided to give their candy to their siblings. And so there's a lot of moments that happen, more of those than not, where they're just making healthy habit choice after healthy habit choice. So that's definitely worth bragging about. What I'm also really impressed with is they're not so worried about the pounds and the weight. They get excited. They only weigh in once a week or maybe every 2 weeks. But they're enjoying like how their clothes are fitting. They're enjoying how they feel. They're sleeping better. Their school's going better.
mm.
And they're saying that. And so for a mom, that's like the best news ever. We were at a point where, there was some concerns about all of our health. And when you're at that place, you wonder, how on earth are we going to tackle this and to do it as a, and the best way to do it, and probably the most meaningful for us.
That's awesome. Marty, same question for you. Brag on your kids here. What are some of the things you've noticed about them?
It's crazy. I'm glad when you asked that to Brigitte, I'm like, oh, I hope he asked me. It's like about a week, maybe 2 weeks into this for them. It was before COVID kind of hit hard, and they were involved in basketball. And at the end of every basketball game, some treats are provided, right? And they're always sugary.
That's the best part of the games. Yeah.
Right. A lot of people think so. And Ethan's like, dang, what do I do with this? And I was like, well, here's what Daddy did, because at work they give us treats too, and I decided to take some, not eat them, but go find some students that could enjoy them that I couldn't. And I gave away a brownie and a Coke and whatever, some things I couldn't eat. And it made me happy to give it out. And this boy right here went and started finding little kids that their older kids were, older siblings were part of his team or whatever, but they didn't get a treat. And he's like, hey, do you want this? And not only did he substitute, the sadness of not getting the yummy for the happiness of sharing with someone, but he kind of made me friends too. And this one has been doing the same. And it's crazy, like the choices. Like, okay, so for Easter, when Brigitte said that, I was a little nervous about the Easter Bunny giving some candy out. And I'm like, hey, but we got to give them an opportunity. And they gave it away. And I was like, I think she ate one. And I ate one.
So that's okay.
There were 2 treats. She gave one away and ate one. And I was like, that's a total, that's such a win. And this girl, we went and played basketball at the church. And she ran to the door to see if it was unlocked and ran back. And she sits down in the car after. And she's like, wow, this is really working. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I used to run to the door and I'd get all winded, Dad. I couldn't breathe. And I ran to the door and back and I'm good, And so to see it like really benefiting them in a happy way where they're seeing sacrifice, but they're seeing the value of it. It's like, I couldn't be prouder,
Well, I couldn't be more excited for your family. I couldn't be more excited for the way that as a family you're saying, hey, we want to make some healthy choices. We have some goals in our life, and in order to do that, we want to align our health better. And you're just doing it as a family, and it's people being able to use their agency to choose to do this or not to do this, and we're just all struggling in this life and trying to become a little bit better. And there's so many different ways in our life that we try to become better, whether it be spiritually, healthily, mental. I mean, we all do things to try to make better choices. And I love that as a family you're doing this. Thanks for being an inspiration. Thank you for leading the way, because the choices that we make not just affect our kids, but our kids' kids, right? And what a great journey that you're all going on together. So, Schroeder family, thank you for joining us. That was awesome.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Take
it.
care.
See you later.